moving on now, stage 3 of a 7-stage business development audit process. So stage 3, Peter, performance data.
Yes.
A quote, I know you've used a couple of quotes already on these videos. The quote I like from Peter Drucker is, what gets measured gets managed. So
yes,
is that essentially the essence of this stage 3 performance data, making sure that businesses know what the key metrics are, what the KPIs are, and which ones they should be measuring, and then affecting actions off the back of that?
Absolutely. I think it's fair to say that up until recently, when it is getting better, that in the construction sector, we're fairly slow adopters of looking at data sets.
Yeah.
And I think because of the nature of the industry, people just like to get on and do what they do, and because they're passionate about it. But they're not necessarily looking at the data to help them inform whether what they're actually doing is working, is successful, whether it's producing the right numbers. So in terms of performance data, I think there are more businesses now putting systems into place to capture data. But I've kind of split performance data into 4 areas. One is technical service delivery. So are you meeting deadlines? Are you providing information on time? So in terms of that project phase, the technical service delivery. But then in the softer skills area, there's customer service delivery. So this is about your relationship building skills, how you're maintaining contact with the client, communication, interaction with stakeholders, etc. Then the third element is what I call financial performance. And this is where you're looking at things like how are particular clients, sectors, project types performing in terms of profitability. You may be looking at your revenue per employee ratio. Are you on par with your competitors, or are you doing better? So there are quite a myriad of sort of financial measures. And the final thing, and I keep coming back to this, the just cause is, are you being true to your business purpose? Now, some people might say, well, crikey, how do you measure your business purpose? So if I give an example, my just cause is to help people to unlock and maximize their talent. So how do I know whether they're doing that? Well, what I do is I track people's progress through their careers to see how they're actually progressing from where they are now to over the next 2 or 3 years. So if I've been working with people, say at the senior management level, and then they've become directors and owners and shareholders, you can actually take a bit of a sort of a measure on that.
And your again, how similar question to the first 2 stages. How do you approach this particular stage? Because this to me is really, really important, and we're talking to a lot of our existing clients around yes. performance data and what the KPIs are that they should be measuring, because there is a lot of data now out there, and you can sometimes get lost and probably have too much data. So how do you what approach do you take to get the individual, the business, thinking about what the key metrics are across those?
Well, the first thing I do is ask clients what they're already measuring, what kind of performance data have they got. So I worked with a client a few years ago who were able to show me a wonderful chart of their 10 most largest clients in terms of fee turnover, but they couldn't actually show me a similar graph with the top 10 earning clients by profitability, because they weren't measuring it, because they didn't have a process or a system that actually measured that timesheet input. And the reason that's important from a business development perspective, that performance data is really useful to guide where you want to focus your attention. So if, for example, during that process you found that 70% of your work was in a loss-making sector, you'd want to do something about it, because sometimes you see clients profitability flatlining, and you want to take a deeper dive into that, and it's sometimes because of that. So it's to help and guide your business development focus activities, both in terms of clients, sectors, project types.